Hello and welcome to another 4th Dimension Studios video tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make a crop circle effect, a bit like the one that you're seeing at the moment. Now you can use anything from text to a logo, whatever you'd like to do. Today I'm going to use a logo, but you can always just put in an image when I say. I just used another crop circle image that I found on Google and just basically edited it to look the way I wanted it. So first of all we need to create a new composition. So click composition, new composition. Make it about 10 seconds long. And click OK. Now you need to drag in your crop circle image. This is my one. It's just very simple with a few people in, which you don't really want, but I'll show you how to edit them out if you don't know how to. Then click V, and to make sure it stays the same size, because if you just do it now it will just go all stretched and you don't really want that, click Shift and it will stay the same size. Now we need to edit the people out first of all, and also we will need to edit out the crop circle, but we'll do the people, or these people first at least. So click on the clone stamp tool here and double click on it. Now it should have opened up this brushes tab here. So first of all you need to choose your brush. So if you choose one that's quite round, it's quite soft but not too soft. So well, they're just different sizes. We can always edit this. Diameter can be changed by pressing Control, left clicking and resizing, or by changing this value here. So just choose one that looks about right. So you can change the hardness. So you kind of want quite hard but enough feather around the edge. Another thing that you can do is change the size, or to change whenever or how hard you use a tablet pen. So if you've got a handwriting tablet or a bamboo pad, you can just use the pen pressure to change the size of it. But I haven't got mine out at the moment, so I'm just going to use my mouse, which is going to be a bit hard, but I'll have to do. So click H, you can move left and right and move around, which you should know, but if not, that's how you do it. And then get a bit closer using your period key or your zoom key, or no, your zoom key, your zoom wheel, and click on the clone stamp tool. That's a bit big, so click Control, left click, make it a bit smaller, make it about that size maybe a little bit smaller, and click Alt, and you'll come up with a little target kind of symbol, and just left click right where the line is, and so you can kind of blur them out like that, so really easily get rid of them. Oops. About there. Oh, that's not right. It can be quite annoying. Maybe this time make it a little bit further away. That's not really very good. About there. That'll do. Move it over a bit. Right, so now you've got a clear background with this bit in, but go over to your composition again and click V to go back into the select tool, and click Control D. Right, click on the bottom one and click Enter to rename. I can't remember what it is on older versions of After Effects. I think it might be Shift left click, but just left click on it. No, press Enter and then type BG, or right click and rename. It's another way of doing it. And double click on BG or background and zoom in a little bit. Now this time we want to get rid of all of the crop circles, so we just got a plain background. Click H, move along, and choose the clone stamp tool. And we'll start off with these lines here. So just select and get rid of them. Maybe just redo these ones here. and you can see that it already looks like you've kind of got rid of a bit. Now this bit here is really easy. Just make it as random as possible, and it will look a lot better. Move over with H, use the clone stamp tool again, select with Alt, and just keep going until you've got rid of all these lines here. To find the image, just go on Google. It's probably one of the first ones that come up when you type in crop circle. Zoom out a bit. This time you can use a bit over or down here. Alt. Oh no, I selected the wrong one. Oh, they're both Control B. You have to keep pressing Control B to select it. So get rid of a bit of that. Go on that one again. Maybe make it a little bit bigger for the inner circle bit. Let's keep going. Oh, didn't want to do that. This bit here can stay in because that was probably there before whatever happened. I'm not going to go into all that stuff because well, I assume that you think it's rubbish and not really aliens. Alright, that's probably going to be a bit too hard actually, so try not to ruin it, or ruin as least lines as possible, because they're annoying to get back in. Select it. Well, actually, this is the time to use this bit here. Maybe you want to make the brush a little bit smaller. So zoom in, H. Maybe not that small. Use the tool, Control B, Control Alt. No, Control to make it smaller. Control Alt this time. Lots of different buttons. Alt. Left click. That doesn't look very good. Maybe get rid of that bit. Bit wonky. Just keep going with that bit. Obviously, if you want to, you can fast forward this bit of the video because it's kind of a bit repetitive. But you can watch it all if you want. Just if there's a little bit you're stuck on, I don't know why you would be, but copy my technique or something. I'm sure people can think of better ways of doing this, but just keep going with this. Oh, yes, we've done that bit. Okay, it's a little bit pale there, I don't know why. Now this bit, you should be able to do quite easily, but might want to. Okay, yes, it's better. Right, just use that bit. Oh, that doesn't look too bad, I suppose. A little bit there, maybe, that's a little bit edited. I don't know how to say that. But that looks okay, so you got your background now. Go back into the Comp 1 tab, and if you click B, you can see when you hide this tab, when you hide this layer, you can kind of see it disappearing and reappearing. It looks kind of weird, but now what we need to do is just make a little hole, or, well, you can make quite a big one if you want, but we need to click on this one and rename this one what should we call it? Bottom? Don't really know what to call it. Or crop circle. And then double click on it. Click on this tab, and this time we're going to kind of do the opposite. So click H, move up, clone stamp, Alt, and get rid of these people. you can, well, what, to make the effect that I made, I, all I did was kind of crop out or cut out the circle and put text in it. But if you want to make a big logo, you're probably going to have to just go like that and then kind of expand it. I'm not really sure that'll look great with this one, but if there's other images that you find, that it's probably going to be better, because that looks a bit, you can kind of tell that looks repetitive, or you can tell that it is repetitive. So for now, I'm just gonna kind of leave it at that, maybe a little bit more around there, to kind of make it, keep it realistic. And then I'm going to use a mask, or I'll use a ellipse tool, and oh yeah, to get that menu up, just hold down the left key to bring up this menu here. Click ellipse tool and draw a little circle. Oh, you have to actually pre-compose that, so click layer, pre-compose, move all attributes to new composition, click crop circle, and click OK. Now you can draw the little circle about there. Click V, click off it, and what you can do is just resize this to get as much in as possible without actually going off. Use the little handles here. That looks about right. To hide the yellow line, just click that button. So you've got a very 2D crop circle at the moment. That kind of looks very, very rubbish. So click on the mask again, the mask, show mask button, and drag it into the place where you would want your first letter. Okay, so to type a letter, just click on the text tool here, and just click anywhere, and type in your first letter or number, so mine would be a 4. Now click on the little arrow here, and you want it to be a black colour, so click on that and change it to black, either here or anywhere down there, and click OK. Now what we want to do is, instead of using an actual letter, we would want to create a solid out of this. So what we can do is right click on the 4 down here and create a mask from the text, and that will automatically create a mask from the text. So delete your 4 here and click layer, solid settings, and make that black. Click OK and OK again. To make it 3D, you could just kind of drag up and down, drag up and down, and it would kind of give it a 3D effect. It would give it a little bit of a 3D effect, but it's kind of not very good. So to actually use real 3D, just click on this little box here. Something I am going to mention is that you can click toggle or switch modes if you're stuck in this one, you can't find your little 3D box. So just click on that and kind of click W and rotate it. So it's kind of the right angle, because the camera that took this was a bit weird, of a weird angle. Don't know what's going on, but kind of rotate it. I'm going to line it up to that line there, down here. Don't know what angle this was at. Weird angle. You need to make it a little bit smaller as well, so click V, hold shift to keep it the right size, and make it inside this little, your little 2D circle you made. V, that's about right, I think. Well, that'll do anyway. And click the text button again and do your second letter. You can obviously do this for as many letters as you want, but just right click, create mask from text, delete the D, click on it, layer, solid settings, make it black, click OK. OK. Right, now you need to create another crop circle, so maybe you'll rename this to 4 crop circle. and Control D it, move it over, enter D crop circle, move it up so it's just underneath here. I'll show you what it does in a minute, but just resize it, click change it to 3D using that little button, click W and rotate it. You can obviously spend hours doing this if you really want, but it's just to give you the rough idea. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Click V and do a third one. S. Right click, create masks from text, delete, solid settings, black. Control D the circle, enter, remove the 2, change it to S. Oops, what have I done? Oh yeah, we need to move that over. It's probably not really very good at the moment. Move that over here. W, move it around. 3D. Make it right. Make it a bit smaller. Shift. Move it over here. W. Along the Y-axis and along the Z. V. W. W. Along the Y-axis. V. W, Z. Just keep going until you are happy with it. I'm not really happy with it, but to keep this tutorial under 10 hours, I'm gonna kind of stop it there. They're a bit far apart. So what you could do is just select both D's, oops, and bring them over. It doesn't matter if they overlap in any way, because we're going to fix that in a minute. The S outline, bring that over. Okay, right. To make the S the actual crop bit, all we need to do is click toggle or switch modes and click alpha matte for outline. That's why we put the 4 outline above the circle. So if you haven't done that, do that now. And just do that with this one and that one. So you can see kind of just a crop circle. It's kind of a rubbish. I've done it a bit badly because it's a tutorial, but just spend a little bit of time getting that perfect. Okay, to make the shadows, we need to select all of them and click Control D. Now select the S and bring them down to the bottom. And I would click Layer and Pre-Compose. Move all attributes into a new composition. Now we can select them and drag them over a little bit. So about there. So at the moment they don't look like a shadow, but so basically all we need to do is make them a bit darker. So if we click Effect, Color Correction, Brightness and Contrast, all we have to do is bring down the brightness to something that we look like. So maybe about there, I don't know. Another thing we can do is a thing called brightness and curves, color correction curves, and kind of play around with them a bit. That looks alright actually. Maybe you can also do the individual colours. So you could make it blue if you want it to for some reason. But I think that looks alright. So hide them. And a little thing that I noticed in the last one, did I tell you this? The 4 kind of comes out a little bit, so you actually need to edit the mask for this one. So to do this, actually to do this it's kind of a bit hard because you don't actually see how the mask, which I've just realised. But all you need to do is bring this line out a little bit. So I'm not really sure how far out you need to bring it. A little bit more. And again, you can spend as long as you like on this, just perfecting it. For example, these little fours down here, these edges here, kind of need to come out a little bit more. And the bit at the end of the four here, kind of needs to come out a bit. But I think you should be able to kind of see a 3D effect here. So that's what we're aiming for. Because you can kind of see the shadows there. It kind of looks a bit digital at the moment, but of course you can do things like select them all, click M and M again, then click F, and you can put the feather up by about 3, and you have to select them all, put the feather up to about 3, or 3, and you can kind of see it's kind of a little bit blurry around the edges, so it kind of all blends in. I don't know if you can see that there. So we need to do that with all of these. F, there we are. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. You might actually want a little bit less than that. But you can see the 3D effect is coming on here. But now what we want to do is make this all 3D. So we just need to hide all these. And if I can remember how to make it 3D. Oh yeah, so select the background and click Effect, Perspective. No, or you could use the effects style, whatever it's called, and type in corner pin here. So drag that onto, actually, make sure we get it on the right one. Drag corner pin onto the background. What this does is kind of stretches it out so you can kind of look around it a bit. But you need to be careful. Otherwise, it will all look rubbish. So, another thing we need to do is click upper left and upper right. And after about 5 seconds, we notice that it's moved to over here a little bit. I don't know. We don't want it to move too much, otherwise it won't look very good at all. But you kind of see. That doesn't look right. How can we do this? Maybe if we make this whole thing a little bit bigger. Got more to use. So then use upper left, upper right. Hang on, what have I done? Yeah, after 5 seconds they move over to about here. You see it kind of looks a bit more 3D. Obviously only the background moves at the moment, so we need to change that as well. So click on these bits here and select P. Click there, and also maybe rotation. Just select all of them. Oh, you have to do it. Shift, rotation, rotation. So they should all be selected now. And move over to 5 seconds and see if you can get this to work properly. But it is a bit of a challenge. Okay, up a little bit. J. Okay, J, K jumps to the different keyframes. It's kind of hard. Maybe if we turn off the shadows as well. J, K. Hang on, we haven't set. That's not right. K. P as well. J, K. Yeah, we need to make sure P is there, otherwise it doesn't work. So J, about. That looks a bit better. Maybe rotate it a little bit. Ah. You might want to do this all individually, but since this is only a tutorial, I'm not going to spend ages on it. And then move now you need to do this with the shadows as well. So click P, at the beginning P, Shift R, like that, and then K, and it's moved to about there. But what we want to do is make it a bit more 3D, so at the moment it just kind of looks like that. But if you think about it, it'll kind of, as you look more over there, it will get further away or closer? It'll kind of, try to think here. It will get further away, won't it? Okay. Does that look about right? Looks roughly. That should be about right. Maybe a little bit less because it looks a bit massive at the moment. But yeah, just play around with that, and hopefully eventually it'll be perfect and look really good. Oh, delete that one. So I hope you like this tutorial. Maybe you could make a logo one or something, and that should look quite good. And if there's a film with aliens in and you want to see a shot of there's some aliens have made some crop circles of their logo or your film title or something, you could put that in. I don't know. So I hope you like this tutorial, and thanks you for watching. Okay, bye.